Today, we are taking a look at Mami Tomoe from Puella Magi Madoka Magica, the movie Walpurgisnacht, Rising. This is the Mami Tomoe figure by Banpresto. Puella Magi Madoka Magica is a dark fantasy series centered on magical girls, wishes, and the consequences connected to them. Walpurgisnacht, Rising continues the film story and opens a new chapter for its characters. Within that story, Mami is an experienced magical girl known for her composed manner, her dependable presence, and her elegant confidence. Today's highlights for this figure are the three-dimensional sculpting of her iconic drill curls, the pose that expresses her personality, and the recreation of her new magical girl outfit. The first highlight is the iconic drill curls. Each curl is formed from a thick section of hair that wraps around itself several times while leaving open space through the center. The changing width of the hair and the outward-pointing ends make the overlapping turns easy to follow from the front, side, and back. The second highlight is the pose. The wink, the hand raised beside the ear, the arm extended away from the body, and the leg lifted behind her create a cheerful and confident presentation. These gestures move in different directions, but they still connect into one lively pose that brings out Mami's composed yet expressive personality. The third highlight is the new magical girl outfit. The short white jacket, two dark brown chest fasteners, shoulder straps, layered waist pieces, yellow skirt, and brown thigh-high stockings are all separated by clear boundaries. The large white ribbon and the brown, white, and yellow sections make the updated costume design easy to follow from top to bottom. This channel brings you figure reviews and anime merchandise updates straight from Japan. If you enjoyed this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. The head is built around a bright wink and an open smile. One eye remains open with a warm yellow-brown iris, while the other closes into a smooth upward line. Darker lines fill the upper part of the open eye, and a lighter circular area sits near the bottom, keeping the gaze clear. Thin pink lines cross both cheeks diagonally, while the soft red inside the mouth adds warmth to the expression. The head tilts slightly toward the raised hand, so the face connects naturally with the fingers placed beside the ear. The bangs are divided into several thick sections that fall from the forehead toward the center and outer edges of the face. A longer central section passes above the open eye, while the sections beside the cheeks narrow into pointed ends. The hair rounds toward the back of the head and passes beneath the dark brown beret, which forms a separate raised layer above it. At the back, the hair gathers before expanding into two large drill curls. Each curl is formed from a thick section of hair that wraps around itself several times while leaving open space through the center. The width changes from the base to the outward pointing ends, making the overlapping turns easy to follow from the front, side, and back. Dark brown hair ties clearly mark where the curls begin. A white fur ornament spreads outward from the side and back of the head. A flower-shaped hair ornament overlaps its front edge, with a red center surrounded by gold loops. These ornaments remain separate from the beret. Together, the wink, layered bangs, rounded beret, white fur ornament, flower-shaped ornament, and wide drill curls give the head a cheerful and recognizable presentation. The upper body begins with a white standing collar that follows the neck closely. Light brown trim runs along its upper edge and down the center, leading into the opening of the short white jacket. The jacket curves around the chest, but opens widely through the lower center, where the yellow inner layer remains visible. The same trim follows the opening and clearly separates the white outer jacket from the yellow section underneath. Two dark brown fasteners sit across the upper chest. Each fastener is made from short, dark brown sections joined by a small silver piece at the center. Separate dark brown straps pass over the shoulders and continue toward the back, with a square silver buckle attached to each strap. From the rear, the straps descend vertically, while a short opening in the center of the jacket reveals a narrow section of yellow. The short sleeves rise into rounded shapes around the shoulders and narrow near their lower edges. Below them, the long white arm covers begin as separate pieces, leaving part of the upper arms exposed between the two sections. Each arm cover remains narrow near the upper arm before widening strongly toward the wrist. Folded lines follow the bends of the elbows, while the outer edges maintain a broad, rounded shape. The arm raised beside the face bends deeply at the elbow, with the palm turned outward and the fingers open beside the ear. The other arm extends diagonally away from the torso, with the wrist lowered and the fingers separated. Dark brown fingerless gloves cover the backs of the hands and the wrists while leaving the fingers exposed. The different arm angles create an open upper body pose and keep the chest fasteners, shoulder straps, sleeves, and arm covers easy to follow. The lower body begins with a dark brown high-waisted panel edged with white trim. A brown belt crosses over the center of this section and closes with a silver buckle. Below the buckle, two narrow white strips run downward, while a short brown horizontal piece crosses over them. The lower edge of the dark brown panel divides into two pointed sections above the yellow skirt, and the white trim follows those points clearly. The yellow skirt spreads widely around the hips and forms a series of raised and lowered waves. At the front, the center of the hem drops lower while the surrounding sections lift. The side and back sections extend farther outward, giving the skirt a broad flowing shape from several angles. A wide dark brown band follows the entire hem and creates a clear boundary against the yellow surface. Beneath the lifted sections, the yellow inner surface and a white underlayer can be seen. A large white ribbon is tied at the back of the waist. Its central knot opens into two wide loops, while two long ends extend downward behind the legs. One end stays closer to the center of the body, while the other curves farther outward before descending. This ribbon adds another flowing line behind the raised skirt. She wears brown thigh-high boots with darker brown bands around the tops. The brown shafts continue from the thighs down toward the feet, while darker brown sections define the toes, soles, and thick heels. Fine vertical divisions appear along the upper bands. One leg extends downward, while the other bends deeply behind the body. The contrast between the straight leg and the lifted leg continues the movement created by the wide skirt and the long white ribbon. This figure is approximately 20 centimeters tall. That's about 7.9 inches. For size comparison, here's a 350 milliliter can. That's about 12 ounces in the US. Overall, Mami Tomoe by Banpresto stands out because this figure combines a cheerful expression, her iconic drill curls, the new magical girl outfit, and a lively pose that guides the eye naturally across the whole piece. The face creates a bright first impression. One eye remains open while the other forms a clear wink, and the open mouth and thin pink lines across the cheeks add warmth to the expression. The slight tilt of the head also connects the face naturally to the hand raised beside the ear. The hair strengthens that presentation very effectively. The bangs are divided into thick sections with a longer central piece passing above the open eye and narrower ends framing the cheeks. The dark brown beret forms a separate rounded layer above the hair. At the back, the two drill curls wrap around wide-open centers and extend beyond the head, making the hairstyle easy to follow from multiple angles. Dark brown bands mark the bases of the curls, while the white fur ornament and flower-shaped hair ornament add smaller details beside them. The upper body works well because the turn of the torso and the different arm angles keep the outfit open and easy to follow. The white standing collar leads into the short jacket, while the yellow inner layer remains visible through the center opening. Two pairs of short dark brown tabs are arranged across the upper chest, and each pair is joined by a small silver ring. Separate dark brown shoulder straps continue toward the back through square silver buckles. The rounded short sleeves and long detached sleeves divide the arms into clear sections, while the dark brown fingerless gloves leave the open hand gestures easy to see. The lower body continues that layered design through the dark brown high-waisted panel, white trim, brown belt, and the two narrow white strips below the buckle. The yellow skirt spreads outward in alternating raised and lowered sections, with the dark brown hem creating a clear border. The large white ribbon adds another flowing line behind the skirt. Brown thigh-high boots cover the legs, with darker brown bands at the tops and darker sections around the toes, soles, and heels. One leg extends downward, while the other bends behind the body, creating two different directions below the skirt. What makes the figure especially effective is the way all of these elements connect. The eye can move from the wink and raised hand into the drill curls, then through the open arms and wide skirt before reaching the lifted leg and long white ribbon. Because of that, fans of Puella Magi Madoka Magica or Mami Tomoe will likely enjoy this piece very much. Collectors who like expressive magical girl figures, elaborate hair sculpting, and layered costume designs should find it a very satisfying addition. That's it for this video. If there's any part of the figure you liked, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.